Hi everyone, this is Ram. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to tell you some very interesting facts of our Mother Earth, like its size, shape, and internal structure. In this video, mainly I am trying to answer three important questions, which are why the Earth shape is not a sphere. As we had been taught in our schools that Earth is a sphere, but it's not true. But why? We are going to look into that. And the second question is, as we are thinking, the earth is not a homogeneous body. That means it doesn't look like same as on surface if we go into the deeper layers. So on what parameters made the earth as inhomogeneous? We are going to look into that also. And the final is, what are the compositions of those different layers of the earth? Okay, let's start our video. So this is the spherical shape of the earth. Whenever we heard of the earth, this picture is comes into our mind. But our imagination is far away from the truth. Mainly these are the two shapes scientists had been debated for several years. This is prolate ellipsoid and this is oblate ellipsoid. After so many research studies, they have concluded that the earth shape is an oblate ellipsoid, which means it elongated at the equator and flattened at poles. This shape was predicted by the Newton. But why? The first and foremost reason for this is the Earth's rotational nature, and it causes to generate the centrifugal force all over the body. And more importantly, this force is not same at everywhere on the earth. Due to this reason, the centrifugal force is maximum at the equator and minimum at the poles. Why? Because the resultant of the gravitational force towards center and the centrifugal forces which is acting outward from the body is gets decreasing if we go from the equator to poles. Because of this reason, the bulging effect is more at the equator, resulting in the ellipsoid shape of the earth. And also the rotational axis of the earth would be its minor axis. That's why its shape is oblate spheroid rather than sphere as we have been taught. Is it clear? Let's get into our second topic. See, let's imagine one of the longitudinal circles. If we take of the longitudinal circles of the earth, it would be like this. And I'm taking one arc from this circle and it would be like this. So in this diagram, the tip of the arc is the center and there are mainly 5 layers inside the earth from the surface to towards center. Those are inner core, outer core, lower mantle, upper mantle, and crust. All this classification is mainly made upon one single physical property, which is density. Nothing but the physical compositions of the layers which are making up of that layer. The core is composed of iron and nickel. You may ask, why two different layers though they are having the same composition? The reason is the physical state of that layers. The outer core is in a liquid state while the inner core is in a solid. Due to this reason, these have been divided into the two different layers. So not only on the composition, based on the physical state of the layer also, these layers have been divided. Next, coming to the mantle, there are also two layers within it for the same reason which I have explained for core. These layers mainly constitutes of basaltic rocks and peridotite. Exclusively from the lower mantle, basaltic rocks melt and produce lava and by intruding above the layers and comes onto the surface resulting in formation of volcanoes and islands, etc. Coming to the crust, it has also been divided into two parts, upper and lower crust. Upper crust usually seen on continents only, not oceans, which constitutes of silicon and aluminum. That's why the upper crust is called as Cl layer and the lower crust which consists of silicon and magnesium and also called as Sima layer. As I already discussed, the physical state of the layer also discriminates it from another. There are different names given for the layers considering their physical state. Let's see what are those. The solid part of the earth, which includes crust and very minute upper part of the mantle, which is called as lithosphere. And next to this lithosphere, there is a plastic layer exists. This is called asthenosphere. Astheno means weak. On these asthenospheres only our continents floats, which resulted in the plate tectonics. It's a different concept, so we will cover it in another video. Beyond the asthenosphere, mesosphere exists till core mantle boundary, and then core part is also called as barysphere. There are also different names for the discontinuities which exist between these layers. The first one is which exists between upper crust and lower crust is called Conrad discontinuity, and the discontinuity which exists between crust and mantle is Moho discontinuity. And the discontinuity which exists within the mantle between upper and lower mantles is repeated discontinuity, and one of the most important discontinuity which exists between core and mantle boundary is Guttensburg discontinuity, also called as core mantle boundary. And finally, the discontinuity which exists between outer core and inner core, which has been discovered by Lehmann, that's why it is called as Lehmann discontinuity. So finally, now the question comes, how we came to know about all these layers and their depths and the compositions which we never able to see with our naked eye? The main answer is seismology, a science which studies the earthquakes. A seismograph is a record of travel times of the reflected and refracted waves at different discontinuities inside the earth, which has been generated by an earthquake. So, from the seismographic studies only we came to know about all this information. So this is all about I want to discuss in this video. Hope you like this video. So before closing also I have some more questions for you. You can answer these if you watch the video completely. The first question is, can we calculate the absolute circumference? Listen carefully. The absolute circumference of the earth by considering its radius as 6371 kilometers. The next question is, why the earth's outer core is in liquid state, so the layers exist on either side of the outer core are in solid state. I have already given the answer in this video only. If you watch it observably, then you can answer this. The final question is, what is the most abundant mineral on earth's crust and on entire earth? This question you can answer if you observe my video thoroughly. What are the physical compositions I have explained in this video. If you observe it, you can answer the third question. So thank you.